Welcome in to a Fairway Media production commentary team from the KO Disc Golf Show. This is Laura Palma Memorial 2, presented by Tweeds Cafe and Emerald City Discs, ran by tournament directors Kirby, Don, and Kayla O'Riddy. We got our featured card here: Kirby, Snyder, Oliver Depina, Eric Sebastian, and Caleb Joyner. This is round one. Get it started for us, Kirby.
Yeah, round one here is from traditional 10's tee pad to traditional 1's basket. They cut down the tree that we originally used for Amando, so we moved it down a tree and opened it up a little more. So you see I'm throwing a backhand turnover there. I think that's a pretty common play. See a lot of forehand kind of like stalling shots or forehand hyzers. I think either is as good. Depends on what you're a little more comfortable with, really.
Oh, double ricochet. We were thinking it didn't hit anything. We got Caleb up here showing the forehand.
He goes very like spike hyzery with his forehand up there. Yeah, such good. I think that is his play, is to kind of hit the trees and filter down to it. Eric Sebastian here, rocking the bucket hat.
That looks really well hung out there on that left side, still allowing a putt.
Yeah, I think that's the better way to play that, is not even put any of the trees into your path.
Ooh, and a big birdie putt to start off your round. Love to see that on hole one.
Yeah, it feels good to start off with a birdie. You never want to start off on a drought, so starting off on a good note. This was the most birdied hole of the tournament, actually. And averaged the furthest below par for round one at about 2/3 of a stroke under par. So 14 out of 21 birdies in MPO.
Let's see, Caleb grabbing that, tapping in there. 3 out of the 4 got it here. I still enjoy it. Definitely changed with the Mando tree leaving, but still a fun hole.
Yeah, it made it a little easier, but it's a good hole nonetheless.
We got hole 2 here, which is just going to be the original hole 2 from the South Fork landing, with the kind of added OB on that right side that you see come in play later on as well. But yeah, throwing in this longer shot, trying to get through these tree line here.
Yeah, I told myself stepping up to this tee, I really want to keep that disc down, and did not do that. So just fortunate that it took a good kick. It took a good kick, not out of bounds, but did land me directly behind that tree in the middle, which is going to be really tough. I liked your forehand option out there. I think a little more nose up, and that puts you in a really, really great spot. Caleb going with this roller. This is a Swirly Z Thrasher, I believe. And with that wet grass, it just never really gave it an opportunity to get over to its face, but plenty of distance. He'll have a wide open upshot right to that basket.
We see Eric trying to go with the roller here too, and that wet grass is just turning over too quickly, finding that OB on the right side.
A little too up and down on it. I think maybe a little too right out of the hand as well. But yeah, the reason why we made that OB line over there is to kind of have it be a little more challenging. So definitely shows his teeth right there.
Yeah, I'm just taking an overstable mid, trying to get it out there. I do get it up, but with the limbs, I'm not as close as I'd like to be, but still giving myself a chance at it. And see you behind the tree there, completely blocked off, having to straddle out that right side and get that forehand, trying to get as far as you can skittled up there.
Yeah, little nose down on it. Would have been nice to kind of let that ride a little more. Maybe give myself more of an opportunity to make that putt. But yeah, from where I am here, so early on in the tournament, there's no reason why to throw a gross putt or throw a putt that hits cage and then hits the ground and rolls really far and having to take a 5 or something like that. I'd rather just kind of take the 4 early on and move on.
I really thought I had that one. I remember walking back and being like, oh, I really thought. And it really did just hit the top of that last bar in the cage there.
Yeah, so close.
And Eric just missing on that backside, finding the backside of the basket there. Tough hole, definitely with the added OB. Can find yourself taking more strokes than you think you would on an already kind of tough hole from that normal layout.
Yeah, putting from the backside of this basket is so challenging from where Eric was. I feel like the depth is really, really weird getting over that stump there where the basket is, but I mean, one of the best basket locations in all of disc golf. Absolutely incredible
Love
up
it.
there. Hole 3 here, 267-foot par 3. It's basically the original hole 3 from the layout. I did add a hazard to that little sand bunker that's out there, but that sand bunker so rarely comes into play. And this is a mistake I've seen Caleb make a few times out here now, where he gets a little too jumpy on that forehand shot and actually kind of gets himself into a pretty precarious situation over there. So I think that's something he's gonna have to maybe like, get the angle down a little bit, kind of maybe hit a little flatter and not so much hyzer.
Like that shot from you. A little wider there. Taking my AGL Elm here. Just throw it a little low and a little flat. Not able to get any skip. Kind of gets caught there right above the sand trap, nowhere near the OB line. So,
Yeah. Yeah, you see that happen a lot with those low shots coming in, and they kind of hit the backside of the bunker, and instead of getting the good right skip, they kind of just get that forward, almost anti-skip. And that's the opposite of what you want to go for this hole.
it was really sandy. Caught some like sand, little sand thing. Again.
Good run.
Yeah, the runs didn't feel bad. Just not connecting early on any of them. So, got to get that going. Good to see you connect there for your bird.
Well,
Yeah, I'm back on that one-footed
actually
putt
walk
thing.
over here, you might change your mind.
Look how tough that is.
But
And
just
he's
so
so
you know-
cramped in there. Yeah, I mean, he's basically has almost no room to swing his arm. He's going to have to throw, from his chest and just kind of punch it through
We're
there a
ready
little
for you,
bit.
man.
So tough, so challenging.
We'll see us tap out for Eric and my pars. Little funny leg position.
You're still putting with those alpacas?
Those are Colts that I use this weekend, actually. Those are XT Colts.
Cool.
So they're allowing me a little more pop, a little more control, and overall how I putt with them. So not really making a decision fully yet. Again, still getting back in the swing, but more putting practice with them, and the alpacas will have me figured out. Nice shot.
Hole 4 here is a 615-foot par 4. We're going from the new tee pad of hole 4 to hole 6's basket. We're not going through the traditional triple mando. We actually moved the double mando down a row of trees to kind of make for a little bit more of an open shot and kind of entice people to throw a little further. You can see I hit the tree on the right. Caleb's going for a roller, which I think is a really good play. Just got maybe a little too high on that, so didn't get it time to down and really on edge. What are you throwing here?
This is my DD3. It's an older one from Innova, and it is kind of just got it through the gap and got it up and around. So threw it on a little hyzer, had it pop up to flat, and not ride too much more out of that.
That's a really good shot. I think you're in a really nice spot over there. I like this hole a lot because that second tree line really does add a second layer of difficulty, but the closer you can get to it, the easier it is. So it really does reward some distance shots out there.
And that was working really nicely, getting him almost to that second tree line and a lot of distance covered. So should have the up and down on that backside, looking in through the more open side to the basket on the screen.
I got caught up on that right mando tree, so I'm trying to go PD. I was trying to go much lower than that and, hopefully hit the ground on that right-hand side, skip over to the basket, but that wasn't going to happen. Not with that shot.
Caleb here getting through and finishing into the gap. Super nice finish.
Such a sweet shot. When you see the disc just kind of go in between that little gap in the trees, you know you did something right.
I felt really good about this shot. Took my elm and gave it a run at trying to get it there. A little too much disc, I feel like, but I think I threw it for the low angle or the low ceiling. Really wanted to just get that going there.
Yeah, I was over on the right-hand side, and I saw it coming in. When it skipped basket high, so you're probably just a couple feet to the left of it. Really, I mean, would have been such an incredible eagle to hit.
Left me with this long bid for a bird, extended out to me. That branch was so in my way. And I
So
still,
tough back there.
yeah, I feel like I was just getting close to the basket and getting some big hits and just not grabbing them. But I do feel a lot of control with these putters.
This is to save my par.
There you go. Great putt at the end of that little
I think I
green.
told you afterwards. I was like, I threw 4 bad shots and got a par. Like none of those shots that I threw on that hole felt good or felt like what I was trying to do, and I still walked away without getting hurt. So
There's that
that's I'll take
conversation.
it. Yeah. What a putt from Caleb. He's so good at putting, man. It's crazy.
Eric grabbing the 2. That upshot was just so easy from where his roller was. Par there. Definitely having fun. You can't say I'm not having fun. This is hole 5. We're going from hole 7's tee pad to hole 5's basket. An interesting par 3 where the Mando has you going, not being able to cut it too far in to get to that green, so making you go left around that. We've got his Banks zooming in there. Caleb getting a really nice shot to turn and get all the way down there. We'll see a lot of backhand turnovers. The forehands kind of have to be really booming to get that left to right, enough left to right.
Yeah, I think if there's a really nice left to right wind and you can kind of get the forehand up high and far, kind of stalling and let the wind carry you over, I think that might be a really good play. But the basket's so far to the right and the grass is so grabby, and the way the hill kind of plays, it's just so hard to get something kind of working all the way to that right hand side. The other thing that's really dangerous about this hole is, ooh,
Yeah, no, that's how I was like. It was kind of a crazy skip.
yeah, I'd heard that it skipped. I never really got a good view of that until now. That was cool to watch. The other thing that's kind of scary about this hole is there is a OB line on the left-hand side
You see
on
me
the
going
trees,
towards right now.
and I got nervous.
That was a little far for what I needed. I'm about 333 feet away from the basket now. The other side.
Sick 500-foot shot.
Eric up and down, gets caught on the branches there. I'm taking my maple out. I'm trying to get up and down. Just a nice up shot there.
Hole 5 here averaged about a third under par for MPO. We had 7 birdies out of the 21 players, and it looks like there was 1 bogey and no double bogeys. So pretty nice.
I saw Eric hit that. I see Caleb hit this. I was like, I just gotta get my par. This is not too hard of a hole, but it's definitely can bite you.
I like this hole a lot. It's a pretty specific angle that you got to throw the disc on. It's definitely like not a shot I feel like you see too much of having to make a disc move that far to the right. So pretty fun to throw, pretty fun to play.
Not
There he
pretty, but it
is.
goes in. Fapa.
That's my guy. Hole 6 here, par 3, 338 foot hole. This is the first hole that we have brought some temporary baskets out for because we are expanding a little bit of the course and kind of going out to this side. I like this hole. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. If you can make it through that right-hand gap and get a disc moving right to left is really nice. There is a gap straight up the middle, too, if you're feeling a little better about like the hyzer flip to straight shot. And if you're lefty or a big forehand thrower, there is a gap out on the left that you can take, but it is a lot smaller of a shot. I went with my PD, or I'm about to go with my PD and just kind of throw it on hyzer out on that side. Really nice movement out of Eric's shot there. What are you throwing here?
This is my Sequoia. So just getting it out there, getting it working. Big zoom in. Gets the left a bit, so leaves me for a putt.
That was a really cool flight, Banks. You should do that more often. I like that.
Caleb getting robbed. Usually you see those fall. See if we can cash one in.
the putt. It's up.
It's a air ball.
Little right.
Little right. Not too bad about it. There was a little low hanging branch. I was just trying to make sure I got around, but like the pace I had on it.
Yeah, this tree, it's not really up in your business, but
No.
there are some of those branches that are just low enough hanging that it kind of messes with a few of those putts.
And great too there. Got that disc really skipping up and getting towards the basket.
Yeah, that PD's been a nice workhorse for me for a long time now.
And we got hole 7, par 3, 213 feet. Plays as like a little island, newly added. We have this like landing strip down the middle, kind of like a runway carpet you can land on and still be safe. And we see you hit the wall for that landing in the hazard right. So that before the wall there's hazard, and then on the backside there's OB. So really controlled shot trying to get on that little island there.
Yeah, at 213 feet, it really is all about just getting throwing a shot with enough pace to get up there, but not too much pace that you're going to hit the island and then skip off the backhand side. And then making the inbound strip from the island to the tee pad. We want to encourage all divisions to be able to come out and have a good time. We don't want you throwing a shot that you're guaranteed to throw into the hazard if you don't have that distance. So. A little bit of a bailout for people if they want it.
Oh, enjoyed the shot. That is the maple.
Yeah, that was a nice shot, dude. So I'm putting from hazard here. Got to get that up and elevated, but feels good. That feels like a nice par save.
Definitely good to get. Keep your confidence up. Keep the round going. Eric grabbing a birdie. Getting negative.
So this hole had 11 out of 21 birdies and had 4 bogeys in that mix as well. So honestly, like not a bad scoring separation for a short hole like that.
Very, very solid.
Great little zone shot from Caleb there. Hole 8 here, par 3, 300 feet. OB line on that left-hand side. We are going from basically the walkway or the path behind the previous basket to original hole 7's basket, kind of in that little dip down there. That OB line on the left-hand side comes into play really, really quick. You got to be really careful not to let something hyzering too hard into that bowl because it really likes to run away from it. Caleb playing it very, very safe on that right-hand side.
You can't see the disc fly at all. That's kind of funny. You'll see where I'm at after that shot. That was really funny.
I was pretty nervous about that shot. I was trying to aim that about 5 to 10 feet more to the left. So if that came in with any more steam than it did, I was pretty sure I was going to find the out of bounds. Looks like it settled up pretty nicely down there, and I'll have a nice little putt, nice little opportunity.
See Eric giving it a good run, staying safe as well. So just right to the right of you.
I think he's probably about a foot inbounds, maybe.
Just missing left there. Caleb at the top of the hill. Cans that for his bird.
Yeah, way to connect. He's putting with those Horizon D-Line P3Xs. Really, really nice putter.
Go.
And I'll just tap in my par. That's all fine.
All fine indeed. Hole 9, par 3, 348 feet. Plays just like the normal hole 8 here at South Fork, basically. Just want to throw that hyzering shot and get some ground play to get towards the basket.
That's Caleb's nuke. I mean, he loves that nuke, and he throws that so well. He a couple weeks ago at a tournament, he threw that disc under somebody's truck, and the person got out of his truck and threw that disc into the Columbia River. and then Caleb's buddy Jeremy, medium germ suave, went diving for him and found it out. So after that shot, I saw Caleb go behind him, or Caleb go behind all of us and pull out his phone, and I'm 100% sure he was texting Jeremy, being like, "Thank you, man. Really appreciate you getting that disc out for me."
Yeah. Good friends grabbing discs. Caleb loves that thing. Got it. Needed to have that back.
Has to. He throws it so well. I've watched him walk into the pond on here at South Fork, still with a couple holes to play because he needed that disc back for the last couple of holes. So it's his ride or die.
Giving it a run, trying to give it some life. Hits the right side of that cage. Just find a lot of cage there. Eric with a long bid finds that right side, chains, and goes out.
Yeah. Looks like he got a little too jumpy when he hit the ground up there. It's so hard to judge because there's times where you can hit that hillside just by those trees and get no jump, no skip at all. And there's times where you're just a foot past that and you hit some of these wood chips and you really, really take off really hot. So, yeah, coming in there with the right amount of speed is so challenging.
Grabbing my par. Caleb with the money shot, grabbing his birdie.
Giving that nuke a little kiss. Hole 10 basically plays like the regular hole 9, except there is a Mando on that tree, so you can't just throw a hyzer out onto the right. You got to throw something up the middle. Very, very challenging here. Caleb is throwing a pink essence, and this is, I mean, one of the most incredible shots you're going to see here. It's just absolutely perfect.
Literally perfect.
Wow, yeah, we're all saying, wow, Caleb. Dang, bro. I'm going with a CD1, and I am trying to just kind of basically like follow his chemtrails. I just kind of juiced it a little too much and a little too much turn, which is the safe miss. I'd rather do that than have something bailing out right or bailing out left and hyzering out too early.
I just missed the Mando right, so I'll be going to the drop zone. Trying to get as much as I could of it to get there, but missed my...
You kind of parked it.
It was a good shot. It was a good shot. Eric
So
getting
high.
left high and turning right. Will
Find
be
a nice
finishing
little-
towards the basket, though, and safely.
Nice little gap in the tree up there he found.
Taking my overstable mid and just kind of throwing it at that hillside, knowing it won't go too far.
Good looking shot.
Should be a really nice shot right there. Yeah, I want no business with this putt. I'm still in that mode of being like, we're still early on in this event. There's no reason to be wasting strokes like this and, throwing putts at hazard like that kind of thing right behind it. So I felt good about that decision.
I had a lay up on that hill in the second round, and Roxy looked at me and she was like, "What would Kirby do?" And I just laid it up. I was like, "There's no point in taking a huge number if I don't need to."
No, not from back there,
Not from back
especially.
there.
Yeah, I think if I'm on, like, I don't know, just in front of where the hill is right behind me, like a few feet from where I'm standing behind, I'm probably running that putt. But from back there, no way.
Caleb at 7 through 10 and a stare down for your par.
I want to point out that this went on for so much longer than that. I held that stare for so long at him.
Hole 11, par 4, 513 feet. Plays from hole 11's tee pad to hole 12's basket. Really fun one. One of my favorite holes on the course. Talked about on the KO Disc Golf Show course review. Done every Tuesday morning. Go check it out.
Check it out.
Eric just finding
Yeah.
a tree and finding that OB on the left side, unfortunately.
Yeah, one of our favorite holes out here. This hole actually kind of inspired a lot of the design to this to this layout. Max Spears and I. Max Spears, who's been so helpful with all of this and really just such a huge part of this entire event and this whole layout. We love this shot, having the OB line on the left, still having the hazard there in the middle. There's just so much to worry about. Having the gap here, and it's a great disc golf hole.
That was one of my best shots I think I've had on this hole. It took my medium stability T-bird and just kind of trusted the disc and trusted my confidence in it.
I think one of the points as to why I think this hole is so great. You look at the the layout of all the stuff that we just threw here, these 4 players. I threw a Glacier, which is a 5-speed. Ollie, you threw a T-Bird, which is a 7-speed. Eric Sebastian threw a Vulture, which is a 10-speed, and Caleb threw a DD3, which is a 12-speed.
Yeah,
so
crazy.
You get all over the place. I mean, there's so many decisions to be made there.
And Caleb actually found the end of like where hole 11 usually goes. You see the little ghost basket there, and he's able to poke out and actually find kind of close to that tree line, past the tree line in the backside of the basket there.
Yeah, he gave himself an opportunity for sure. I threw a great drive and then just I fluffed that up shot. I might be losing my forehand certification pretty soon. That was tough.
I couldn't let you do it alone. I fluffed it a little bit too, but a little better. Hit that tree. I guess not fluffed it. I guess it just hit the tree. Still leaving myself a putt. I guess I didn't recall that one right.
Yeah, I think the forehand out on the left hand side is just a little more open. Kind of gives yourself a little more opportunity. And that's, I really gave myself an opportunity to save that and get that birdie. And those are the putts that I practice so much, and it's so frustrating to miss something that I practice so often, so. Oof.
Yeah, just hitting that. I feel like I kept hitting those little nubs on the cage. It was so it's kind of where I want to be. Like I like putting that low catch rate in the cage right there, but I don't want in the basket. I just don't want to be hitting the cage. A little higher up, but all adjustments coming in. We'll see us tapping out some pars, banging the basket.
Hole 12 here, 498-foot par 4. It's going to play very similar to like the original hole 13 out here at South Fork. This is like one of the few tweaks we have made to the course, where that first tree on the right is going to be Mando's left, and then after that you can pretty much do whatever you want. I'm going CD1 here. Started a little more left out of my hand than I meant, but had really good turn. I think there was a little headwind that helped that out, and really utilizing a ton of the fairway there.
Just thinking, not really throwing it with that as hard as I need to with that T-Bird. Not getting the flight that I wanted with that, so coming up a little short on the left. I see a miss Mando there, just that right side coming in.
Yeah, that's kind of the tough thing about this hole is you can either try to go super aggressive and really try to juice past that Mando, or kind of do what you and Caleb did, which is play to the Mando and then just try to take whatever you got from there.
Yeah, I still was able to get up and down to an extent with my Sidewinder on a little forehand roller, which was awesome. Eric, awesome shot, getting up and down from the drop zone there.
Such a good shot. Yeah, that big, I think that's a laurel bush there that Caleb kind of got himself into, and it's so tough. They're so thick.
Still able to get a really good roller out and up, leaving him a putt very much in Caleb range, so.
For sure. Yeah, he'll have a low ceiling. It's not going to be an easy putt, but it's a putt nonetheless. I'm in a really great spot out there on my drive, so I'm just going to go with a little swirly S-line drop right around the backside up to the basket.
Trying to figure out a little tough of a look for myself. Just going to give it a little bit of a run. Hits that branch there. Did like it out of my hand to an extent, but able to get up there and should have saved that par.
I like that you're aiming for that left-hand side, or the left side of that branch. That looked really nice. Caleb for the birdie. Oh, just high. And he dodges the pole, sticking out of the ground and everything. This guy's an athlete. Good connection for your par save.
Didn't miss any too short ones, which was good.
But you didn't miss any short ones, but you missed my fist bump.
I did miss the fist bump there. And you're there you go, shooing me off.
Yeah. I was like, no, I don't want it now. Leave me alone.
There should be a funny shot after these taps. Caleb grabbing his par after being in that laurel. Eric tapping in his par as well.
That's such an impressive shot for him from the Mando, or from the drop zone, to get all the way back up there.
And here we go. Oh,
no,
okay.
No, I don't wanna.
Hole 13, par 3, 327. We're playing from hole 14's tee pad to just right of the little pond there. We have a temporary basket put in place. This is one of the more riskier shots just with the water carry there, but a really awesome hole that we added in. And Kirby just lacing that line. Very safe on the backside there, but juicing it. That's a really awesome shot. You see Caleb try to do something similar, get something turned off. I think he has his essence in his hand.
Yeah, this hole's, I mean, one of the most beautiful holes to throw, but so challenging, so tricky. It's really scary to have a disc hang over the water for that long. At 327, throwing on that Anheuser too is not exactly like the shortest shot either. So both of you guys getting kind of hung up on that fence that's right there is going to put you in a pretty tough spot. I do think the best play here is just to go kind of long right of the basket, kind of like what we're going to see Eric do here, and just kind of put himself out there. It's going to be nice and safe. He'll have a long jumper to it for a really easy par. Yeah, I think that's the easy, safe way at least.
Yeah, it's really hard getting behind this wall to any extent. I'm able to like stretch out. Got my maple in my hand, so I'm just gonna try to put this out and get it safely over the water.
I think the maple's a really, really good disc choice. I think so often you see people in this position and they'll go with an understable disc and then throw it on that angle and then see it come down on a roller. I think the maple was a great shot because if you do hang that more over the water, the disc is going to flatten out and glide out compared to just want to kind of take its edge and dive it into the water. So I think that was a really smart play by you.
Thank you, appreciate that. Caleb going big from a side there and just doesn't have enough to get there on that diving angle. And we're going to see him line up from, I think this is where he decided to go to the drop zone from here. Basically from where, just a little better footing and up and down, routine up and down for him.
And like we said, Eric just having that nice long float. That was pretty close, actually. Jeez.
I got a very long bit out here. Gonna get that up. Going. Don't hate the flight there. It was pretty far out.
I'm about, I don't know, 30-ish feet away. So about that distance, maybe a little shorter than that, 28. Gotta start connecting on more of those, like, edge of C1 putts. I think that'll really open up a lot in my game, honestly. A couple other just kind of cleanups here. Tough double.
Grabbing the par. Grabbing the par.
Hole 13 average 0.19 over par. We had 4 birdies and 6 bogeys. So another one with really, really good scoring separation. Hole 14, 240-foot par 3. It's short, but it is scary and a little dangerous. It's basically going to be a left to right turning shot or a left to right moving shot the entire way. Forehands are really popular here, like you can see Eric throwing. I went with a really beat up, soft putter that can just throw on a little bit of Anheuser and float right over.
I went with my Elm, trying to, first round, definitely make sure I got across. Definitely threw it a little on an Anheuser. Got that just very safe on the other side.
Definitely across.
Definitely, yeah, you can't say I didn't throw it across. But not that easy of a comeback putt.
Banks thought he was safe over there. You thought.
Just trying to throw it at Banks.
I think this is a really similar shot to hole 1 in terms of like the angle that you're throwing and that kind of thing. Like that forehand spike hyzer that Caleb's throwing here. I'm pretty sure that's the exact same angle he is throwing on hole 1. Maybe a touch more power, but really, really similar shots.
Just didn't get the nose down enough, so that disc was going left on that putt. But still, easy par.
Caleb looking for a little comeback.
Thought he had
Just
it.
off
Left side.
I think I'm like 20, 24-ish away, somewhere in that range.
Good connection. See Eric lining up his birdie putt. Cash, top right. Sticks it. Getting
Not as
back
much
in the
scoring
game.
separation in this one for MPO. We had 10 birdies, 10 pars, 1 bogey. So this one played pretty birdie par type of situation.
Grabbing the par.
As we see with this card. So gentle. So delicate.
Hole 15, we got a par 3, 309. OB on the right side there. Going to be playing like pretty much the 17 at the original layout. Going to see that elevated basket that known at South Fork.
Yeah, another just incredible basket position. I love it in that stump over there. I think it really adds a lot to the hole. I went with an MD4 out on that right-hand side. Eric, I think trying to tuck that right-hand side a little bit. This first tree here on your right definitely prevents you from wanting to go as wide with that shot as you maybe want to. You went up the middle, though. That was really nice.
Yeah, I've been liking that middle play. I just took my J, and yeah, I had my boss in my hand, and you were like, please do not go on the outside. When I grabbed my J, I think you thought I was going on the outside, and luckily that wasn't the plan. A little straighter of a disc.
I definitely did. I saw you walk up with the J, and I thought you were going outside, and I was. That is probably the closest I've ever been to being like, "Hey, Ollie, what are you doing, man?" I'm kind of giving you a little bit of like, "Buddy, I want to see you succeed, but that's not the disc." And then you went up the middle, and I was like, "Great shot. That's my guy. That's my guy."
Just laying it up. Didn't really want anything to do with it. I felt like I always usually go that basket, but just was kind of not trying to create any more headaches than I needed for myself.
For sure. Yeah, Caleb making that putt definitely put the pressure on a little bit. Not that I wasn't going to run that putt, but definitely felt you have to run this and you have to make this type of feelings there. That's a tough basket, man. It is really scary putting on this guy with how high up it is.
Boom, grabbing my par.
Nice little tap outs. Up next is hole 16, and this is going to play as just the regular hole 16 for the layout as well. Funny how that works out sometimes. 315-foot par 3. As you notice, the fence has been completely removed on this hole. It's been falling apart for a long time, so it's smart of the Parks Department to take it down. I'm going MD1, just straight up the gut. I love this shot. I think it's so much fun. Caleb's going with a lot more of a S-line type shape. He's going with a swirly S-line PD2, and I think he's getting kind of lucky through those trees if we're being totally honest about it. Nice outside shot from Eric. Are you just going right up the middle?
Going right up the middle, trying to get some play with that T-bird. Skittles up just past that tree. Pretty happy with that.
Yeah. 315, but it is a little uphill. I do think it plays maybe a little closer to the 350 range or something like that. And the water behind is very scary.
Another little top nub hit. Not too happy with that. All good, though.
You've been all over the basket today, though. Good putt from Eric. Love to see it. Got him. Oh, got him. Good birdie from Caleb. There's not a lot of space in between the water and the basket, but I managed to find it.
Grabbing that on the backside there. I will be tapping in my par.
I didn't know you did that. It's so dumb.
You can never tell me I'm not having fun. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, hole 17 here, 369 feet. This is just like the regular hole 15. I am not happy with that drive for sure. There's so much space on that right hand side to kind of get the disc out there. So to throw it that far to the left just feels like such a bonehead mistake. I went with a PD. I believe Caleb's going with like a DD3 here. And like I said, man, you really do need to utilize all of that empty airspace on that right hand side and swing it into that basket, those trees down there.
100%, 100%. We see Caleb testing that OB on the backside there. We'll see. We were unsure where that was. We know there's like a bit of a path between there and that tree and that. So Eric going out wide to the right has the juice to get that disc. And then we think it's going to get that big skip, and then it just gets caught.
That is 100% the shot you want to see there. Just getting a little unlucky with the grabby grass right now.
And then
Looks like that's coming out of your hand a touch too flat.
I kind of the angle I want, just released it really far to the right. I kind of just want to release that down the middle and have it turn and then finish towards it. Luckily, I am inbounds by about 5 inches. So is Caleb. So going towards the basket there.
5 inches is huge.
Yeah, it was huge.
Solid run from Caleb, but yeah, he knew out of the hand that wasn't going to make it. I'm pretty far away. I'm going to give this like an honest bid, but it's coming out of the hand. I was like, that's not. Just settle at that point, you know?
Eric lining up his birdie bid just to the right.
We are making this hole look difficult.
Not too difficult of a hole at all. I'm just going to go tap out because I'm ready.
Yeah, this hole averaged 0.43 under par. We had 9 birdies and 12 pars and no bogeys in MPO for the day. Or for at least round 1.
W.
I think we got 4 out of those 9 pars. Or 4 out of those 12 pars right here.
Nice nature shot into the stump. Hole 18. We see our first little backup. Hanging out in the woods here past there. There's the gang. There's the KO Disc Golf Show every Tuesday. Come check it out with your boys.
Check it out. Tons of giveaways.
Bunch of high fives, bunch of fist bumps. I kind of like the high fives. They were kind of fun. I don't usually do them.
Yeah, I've been doing fist bumps for so long. Someone threw the high five first, and I was like, we're running with that. That's cool.
Way more audio. Roxy get the high five.
Slap music.
We have some fun when we play. Hole 18, par 4. Pretty much the original 18, but just taking that tee shot into this newly carved out par 4 area. Still same Mando there. The little bowl up there does play as a hazard. So we're going to see a lot of shots trying to get through the Mando and to the right there.
Yeah, I love putting the hazard out there. I think it's something that really makes a lot of players think. If you are a distance thrower and you juice a shot, there's a really good chance that ball's going to catch it and kind of punish you for it. So it does put a little bit of like depth into some of the distance throwers. I went CD1 actually, just so I don't accidentally throw it a little too far and get it maybe trickling or skipping into that bowl. The idea is that it just goes, just a little too short for that. And I love this shot out of your hand. I thought that was so crispy and so good.
Yeah, definitely trying to keep it left of that Mando, but wanting to be close to it because not feeling too confident in like a big hyzer flip from there for that. Thinking I probably should have done something I do feel more comfortable hyzer flipping just to get out of that right side. Kind of tucked in on this left side here, taking I think it's my maple, and getting caught up on that left side there.
But still, just over the hazard.
Yeah, over the hazard. I'm on like this hillside. Should have a up and down.
Yeah, good little zone shot from Caleb there. So I'm in kind of a weird position where I think I wanted to take the middle gap, but I ended up going outside with a splice and have it just kind of be like skippy and run out there. My thought was that if I accidentally miss this just a touch left and I hit that tree and roll into the hazard, I'm not going to be okay during my lunch break here, so I'm just going to be so mad at myself that I was like, it's just not worth it, and we can give ourselves plenty of opportunity out on that right-hand side, so... did leave it a little long and a little right, so this is maybe a touch longer of a putt than I would have liked. And hated it out of my hand. Just immediately knew that was not going to be in, so... clean up my par here, and then move on to lunch.
Move on to lunch. Yeah, I just know you don't want to leave any strokes out there with guys like Caleb. A lot of dogs in this field. A huge MPO field, honestly, for our local scene, which is awesome. And definitely want to get in what you can.
Big shout out to Brian Johnson, who shot so well during round one. He popped off for a 10 down. So great scores out of him. Great card all in all, man. Great getting to do this with you. Big thank you to Justin Banks for having us here. And as Ollie said, check out the KO Disc Golf Show every Tuesday on YouTube and Spotify.